What up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. First of all, I want to say thank you for being here. I appreciate you. The first thing you can do right now is just find somebody you can share this with. We'll be having a conversation for the next, 25, 50 or so minutes. And so I'm super excited right now. I'm super passionate right now. And I cannot wait to have this conversation with you. And I got to start off by saying this. Today's my mom's birthday. And shout out to mom. I want to just spend about 5 minutes just shouting out my mother, Aqua Shelton. She transitioned about 3 years ago. It feels like 3 days ago. And everything she taught me, I try to live. And I just want to say this message is not about grief. You are here because you probably want to learn how to make your first $1 million. And I'm going to tell you right now, this isn't a message about scamming. This isn't no easy message. This is no like strategy message. This is not for this. I'm going to tell you something that's real that I think that can really help your life. Not in making $1 million, but just setting yourself up financially, like financial wealth. And I'm not just even financial health, not just talking about dollars in the bank account, right? I'm talking about just changing your life because we all want to do better. But before I get to that in a few moments, you know, one of the things that mom taught me, she taught me legacy. She taught me self-worth. She taught me always to believe in myself. And I want to say this right now because it relates to tonight. Self-worth is the greatest resource to your net worth. And I want you to write that down. I want you to write that down so you can put it in your mirror. I want you to write that down so you can see it every single day. Your self-worth is the greatest resource to your net worth. You hear me? Your self-worth is the greatest resource to your net worth. And what mom meant with that, she was telling me, listen, you got to believe in yourself first because somebody can tell you about your potential. Somebody can tell you how great you are, like I'm telling you right now, and how capable you are, like I've been telling you for the last 15 years. She said, people can tell you that all the time, Trent, ever since I was a little boy. But said, until you really believe in yourself, until you really believe in what God has for you, you're never going to achieve even a fraction of what you're capable of achieving. And so that's why I've always dove in deep into self-worth because I know how I feel about myself dictates how I live this life. And I want you to be real with yourself right now. Where's your self-worth at? On a scale from 1 to 10, I teach this in my book, Protect Your Peace. I talk about it all the time that we will always go back to our set point of self-worth. What does that mean? That means that no matter how high we are, no matter how happy we are, no matter how fulfilled we are, we're always going to go back to our set level of happiness, right? So you can have the best day ever. And just think about this right now. How many times you had a great day and then the next day you just feel neutral? You come back down. Even in bad times, you're always going to come back up to your set level of your self-worth. And so my ask of you, we don't have enough time to dive into today, but if you listen to the podcast, you watch the videos, you should be getting some content that's going to help you increase your level of self-worth. But my ask of you is to think about that. Where's my level of self-worth? Is it a 2 on a scale from 1 to 10? Is it a 9? Is it a 1? And how can I better that? One secret I would give you to better that is the work that you do in yourself, the language that you speak on yourself. Getting rid of negative thoughts. And what I mean by that, when negative thoughts come in, those negative thoughts don't stick to your life. When those thoughts of I'm not enough, it doesn't stick to your life. When those thoughts of I never will be XYZ, you don't try to find validation in the world on why you're not going to be it. You say, hey, shut up, mind. Shut up, negative self. I know you're here because you're a part of my brain, you're a part of my life, but I'm not going to believe you. See, some of us, and I've been here before, some of us, and maybe it's you right now, you believe too much of the negativity in your life. You believe too much of the lying thoughts that have came into your life. You believe too much of the limited beliefs that society or circumstances has put on your life. And so you have to increase your level of self-worth because that is how you're going to operate in this life. And I'm going to just tell you right now, I can preach to you. I can teach to you. I can give you all the words. I can make you feel good. I can make you light up the chat. I can make you say, amen, Trent, I feel you. But until it becomes real for you, you're always going to go back to that level. And I need you to increase that level because why? Your self-worth is the greatest resource to your net worth. If I told you right now by this title, how I made $1 million, some of you already wrote yourself off. So I can never do that. I can never be that. Look at my circumstances. How can I ever be? I know how it feels to be at rock bottom financially, believe it or not. I know how it feels not to have anything to my name except maybe even $200 to my name where I had a kid to take care of. But I always believed in myself. And I said, there are going to be better days. I am going to have a financial breakthrough, and I'm going to claim it right now. Some of you right now are claiming the wrong thing. And we're not even into the message right now. Some of us are claiming the wrong thing. We're claiming that this is going to be my life forever. We're claiming financial devastation forever. We're claiming financial setbacks forever. And I'm going to tell you right now, what you feed your mind will grow in your soul. Write that down. What you feed your mind will grow in your soul. If you keep telling yourself, I will never become better, then I'm going to just keep it real with you and straight up with you. You're never going to become better unless a miracle happens. And some of us, we've been feeding us ourselves, our life, our worth, our body, our mind, our spirit, that nonsense for the last 10 years because something happened to you. And this is where we transition into the message I have for you today. You ask, how did I make my first $1 million? I can talk about strategy. I can talk about book deals. I can talk about social media content. I can do all of those things. But all of those things do not matter until you get these 5 words understood. And I hope you're rocking with me right now. I hope you dialed in. I know it's late if you're watching me live. I know you listen to the podcast right now. You might be working out. You might be doing something. But I need you to lean in for a moment. And I want you to understand and hear what I'm about to say. And you know these 5 words. You've been following me. Because these 5 words changed my life. One day I looked in the mirror and I said, Trent, it all starts with you. It all starts with you. It all starts with you. And I want you to feel that right now. What does that mean for your life right now? It all starts with me. See, some of us, when I say that, we leave. I don't want to hear that, Trent. I don't want to hear it all starts with me. Because I don't want the responsibility over my life. And I have to tell you this, your responsibility is your greatest gift that you've been given. To hold the pen of your life, to be the narrator, to be the author is the greatest gift that you've been given. But the problem is we've been allowing other things outside of us, other people outside of us to hold the pen in our life. And controlling how our story is going, narrating how our story is going. As I always say this quote, you're probably tired of hearing me say it, but I'm going to say it again. We're allowing things or people that didn't create us to control us. But when you say it all starts with me, it changes everything. You take the responsibility over your life. And I got to tell you, your financial breakthrough starts with you. I got to tell you, your next level of life, it starts with you. I got to tell you, your healing, it starts with you. Your miracle, it starts with you. It starts with you by believing that there's more to your life. It starts with you believing that there's better days. It starts with you believing that this is just a chapter. It is not the story of your life. It all starts with you. And I look myself in the mirror every single day. And I look at that person in the mirror, the person that's responsible for my life, the person that can only do something for my life, the person that can only take action in my life. See, a lot of us, we put the responsibility on other people. You're still talking about what somebody did to you 10 years ago. And I know that it hurt. I know it was unfair, but you're still talking about that. You're still talking about the government and the financial crisis and all these things that are true. But at the end of the day, the person that you see in the mirror, that man you see in the mirror, that woman you see in the mirror, is the person that can change something with your life, that can change everything in your life. So you have to look at yourself right now and every morning do this practice. I've been doing this since 2009 and it creates a sense of ownership over my life. And sometimes I don't want the ownership. Sometimes I want the ownership to be in other things because I start to feel guilty that I'm not doing enough. I start to feel shame, but I want you to remove the shame. I want you to remove the blame. I want you to remove the complaints in your life and say, you know what? It's okay. I'm a human being. I made some mistakes. So what? You still got more life to live. So what? You made some mistakes. Just because you made some mistakes doesn't mean your future can't be great. Ignore the hate. Ignore the setback. The setback is just a setup for the comeback. It's just a part of your story. When you tell, everybody wants to have a story, but nobody wants to go through anything. Everybody wants to have a story, but nobody wants to endure anything. Everybody wants to have a story, but nobody wants to get through anything. It changes right now for you because every single morning you're going to wake up, you're going to look yourself in the mirror, and you're going to say, it all starts with me. And actually don't even say me, say you, because I want you to look that person in the mirror. That greatest you in the mirror. I don't care where you're at right now in your life. I don't care what you're going through. You have to see beyond your current circumstances. My mother taught me that. Said, Trent, don't believe your current circumstances. Don't lean on your own understanding, because if you try to understand, it's going to make sense to say, oh, your life is not going to be better because you're going to be trusting circumstances instead of trusting God's promises. You're going to be trusting your circumstances instead of the future that God has for your life. You're going to be trusting your circumstances instead of the potential that you can actually go meet if you take ownership over your life. So every time you look in the mirror and practice this will change your life. You want to say, I want to make $1 million. Some of you want to make $1 million, but you don't even feel like you can make $10, $100, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000. You don't feel worthy enough. We have to increase our self-worth, and it starts there. Why? Your self-worth is the greatest resource to what? You should know it by now. To my net worth, to your net worth. So every morning you look yourself in the mirror and say, it all starts with you. Your breakthrough starts with you. This change that we're about to go get starts with you. This healthy body that I'm about to go achieve, it starts with you. And you got to start becoming your best friend. You got to start becoming your biggest champion. You got to become the biggest cheerleader in your life. When you look in the mirror, you shouldn't see disgrace, because you should give yourself grace, and you should see potential. You should see a warrior. You should see a soldier. You should see a strong human being, a strong man, a strong woman that has persevered and survived everything that you've been through. Do I got to remind you tonight? Do I got to remind you right now in this moment that you survived everything you've been through, and you thinking that you ain't him and you ain't her? Because you don't have what they have or what this person has, or your life isn't where you want it to be, because you look at your bank account, and I get it, and it's tough because your financial situation isn't where you want to be, and you start to judge yourself by that. You are bigger than a bank account. You are bigger than some followers. This is coming from a person that has 16 million people online. My self-worth is not in those 16 million people. My self-worth is not in my bank account. My self-worth is not in the house that I live in or the cars that I drive. My self-worth is in how God created me. I am worthy because God put me on this earth. And if you're looking for a miracle, that's your miracle, because the chance of you being here and you being you is like 0 to even a word I can't even pronounce, gazillion, quadrillion chance that you are here and you are here and you're questioning yourself right now. Come on. It starts with that self-worth. That is the foundation of your life. So those 5 words, it all starts with you. What that does is that I want to say justifies. It justifies that you're capable. But what those 5 words do, it ignites passion, it ignites resilience, it ignites determination to go get your best life. To go get your best life. I get emotional, man, because I know somebody right now that's hearing my voice is about to make a breakthrough. I know you're at your breaking point right now where it's like, man, I want to break down so bad. And I get emotional because I've been there. I still go there at times. But the beautiful thing about a breaking point is you have a choice. You can break down or you can break through. And when you take massive ownership over your life, massive ownership, by saying those 5 words, I want you to say it right now. Say, it all starts with you. And you could say me, but I want you to talk to the future you. When you say those words, it all starts with you. You're telling yourself, you're making a pledge to yourself, you're making a commitment to yourself to say, I'm taking the responsibility for my life. I am taking massive ownership for my life. Massive ownership. We're not talking about part-time ownership. We're not talking about ownership when I feel like it, ownership when it feels good, ownership when I'm going through my highs, ownership when I'm having my best days. See, when we're having our best days and our best life, we want that ownership. We're like, yeah, I did this. You see all this greatness, all this success? Yeah, that's me. That's me. But when we go through these rough times, these turbulent times, these storms, when we go through these downs, when we go through these valleys, we try to point the finger. Oh, I don't want the ownership. I'm going to put the ownership on the economy. I'm going to put the ownership on those friends that did me wrong. I'm going to put the ownership on my ex. I'm going to put the ownership on my mom and my dad, my family here. I'm going to put the ownership on all these things because it's on them. But as long as we having great days, it's on us. We feel responsible. Listen, I want you to take responsibility for it all. Now, don't take me out of context. I know some things might have happened in your life that weren't in your control. Please don't take me out of context. Some unfair things, some abuse, that is out of your control. But I want you to take ownership right now that you're going to not become and not stay a victim and say, you know what? I'm still going to be victorious in every situation that comes to my life. And I see that so many times with people when they go through things, when they have a setback, when they go through some unfair. Hell, I was that person. When I got cut from the NFL, it was always everybody else's fault. I was a professional finger pointer. You ever seen a person like that? They always point the finger, right? If they had a symbolism, it'd be this. It'd be like, it's all right, it's everybody, no, it's on them. It's this person's fault. You ever talk to somebody, it's always somebody else's fault. They have no responsibility because they don't realize responsibility is a what? It's a gift. It's a gift that God has given us. One of the greatest gifts to have responsibility over your life. But we have professional finger pointers. What I need you to do, if you're a professional finger pointer, I need you to bring that finger in like this. I need you to bring out that thumb. Give me 2 thumbs up, and I want you to tilt those thumbs back and have those thumbs point at your heart. And I want you to tell yourself, this is who it's on. It's on me. Yep, I want all the ownership. I don't want part-time ownership. I don't want shared ownership. I don't want anything. I don't want my ownership diced up. I don't want my ownership split. I want complete ownership. Give me the whole pie, bruh. I need it all. Give me the whole pie. I am taking ownership. Why? Because I know myself. I trust myself. I love myself. Because why? Self-worth is what? The foundation for my net worth. So I'm taking all the ownership in my life and saying, it is on me because it all starts with me. It all starts with you. There's 3 areas that I want to talk about tonight, and we're going to do a Q&A. There's 3 areas that I want to talk about that you need to take massive ownership over. I didn't say a little ownership. I'm talking about go get it. Go take your ownership back. Who got your ownership tonight? Who got your ownership right now? That ex, go take it back. You ain't got to announce it. Go take it. Go steal it back because they got your heart, right? They controlling your life, right? They controlling how you feel, right? Now go take it back, right? They didn't have that too long. That is not theirs. That's yours. Go get your emotions back. Go get your confidence back. Go get your best life back. Go take it back. They didn't have it too long. They didn't use it, abused it. You didn't give them that gift for too long. Go take it back. Maybe it's your past that got it, right? The past that got it, and they got the ownership. Oh man, you got cut. Your dream ended. Or something happened in your past. You made a mistake, and you keep talking about that, and you've been living your life like that. That has become the foundation of your life. No wonder why you don't feel worthy. No wonder why you feel like you're not enough. Listen, go get it back. Say, hey, past. Hey, past, I'm going to need that back. You didn't have it too long. Listen, I've been nice to you. Right? I didn't allow you to take the ownership. I didn't allow you to take the responsibility for a long time. I need that back now, bro. Let me go get that. Maybe it's your friends and people around your life that did you wrong, turned their back on you in hard times. And it made you bitter. It made you not want to trust anybody. It made you not feel worthy. It made you feel like you're not enough. I'm going to need you to go get your responsibility back. I'm going to need you to get your ownership back. I need it all back. Go to those friends. Hey, I'm going to need that back. You didn't have it too long. I forgive you. I understand. I'm moving on with my life. I am moving forward. I'm focused on what I'm moving on to. I can care less about what I'm moving on from because that is over and done with. That is a chapter that I'm not going to reopen. That is something that is dead in my life that doesn't need to be revived. I am moving forward with my life. I'm going to need all the ownership. I'm selfish with the ownership. Give it all to me. I'm self-centered with the ownership. I need it. I need it. That's the attitude that you have to have when you say it all starts with you. Because this is a lifestyle that we live at rehab time. This is a lifestyle that we live as a rehabber. We don't blame, we don't point the finger. We point the thumb and say, yeah, okay, cool. That's what it is. All right, cool. It's on me. I put myself in the position. But Trent, man, like that person stole money for you. You know what? I put myself in the position. It's on me. I'm gonna take all that ownership. Yep, the person did me wrong, stole money from me, backstabbed me, all the things. But I put myself in the position. So guess what? I'm gonna tell you this and write this down. Whew. I hope you're with me. I'm excited tonight, man. I'm excited. I hope you're feeling me in this podcast right now. If you're listening to me right now, I know some of you are watching me live on YouTube. Make sure you follow these lives. Man, but I want to say this right now because some of you are so afraid to say these 3 words. And I want you to say it. Again, don't take this out of context, my friend. I want you to say these 3 words right now. I am, 4 words, excuse me. I am the problem. That's hard to say that, right? Don't it just make you kind of like, it's something in your soul that just can't say it? But I want you to freely say, I am the problem. If you want to be nice, you can say, I'm a part of the problem. Feel free. But if you own that, I'm taking full ownership over my life, if you're on that, I am, that it all starts with me, you lifestyle, say, I am the problem. And just breathe. That wasn't so hard, was it? Now, what that means, does it mean that you're a bad person? No. Does it mean that you deserve what happened to you? No. But what you are doing by saying that, you are giving the greatest gift to yourself. By now, we should know what that gift is: the gift of responsibility and ownership. Because when you say, I am the problem, guess what immediately happens? Can somebody tell me? Guess what immediately happens? If you said, it means that I am the solution, you're absolutely right. Because as long as you're making everything else the problem, right? My parents put me in a bad financial situation. They messed up my credit. They did all these things, which is maybe true for you. As long as you keep saying that's the problem and you justify why your life is staying where it's at, then guess what? You think that they're the solution. And for some of you, your parents are no longer here. For some of you, your parents aren't going to change their ways. For some of you, the ex isn't going to change his or her way. The friends aren't going to change anything. They're going to continue to be who they are. And if you're not telling yourself you're the problem, then guess what? Then they must be the solution. And how is that going to work out? You're going to spend your whole entire life waiting for them to miraculously change their heart and change who they are? And maybe it can happen. I'm sure it can. I'm sure it happened once out of a gazillion chance. I'm sure it's happened at some point. Miracles do happen. But when you take ownership and say, I'm the problem, you immediately realize this truth that you're the solution. And if you're the solution, that means that you can do something about it. That means that you can start today and do something about it. It means that you can pick yourself back up, dust yourself off, wipe those tears off, and you can do something about it. That means that you can get back up and start your major comeback. You can do something about it. That means that the past that was so hard, you can start right now to build a future that you deserve, to build a future that you're proud of, to build a future that is legendary, to build a future that is next level, to build a future that you tell your kids about, to build a future that you deserve. It can start right now. It can start right now. Yep. When you take that type of ownership over your life. So I want you to start telling yourself that every time you want to make something else the problem, say, no, I'm the problem because I'm going to be the solution. Yep, I'm the problem for allowing you to keep doing this to me. So you know what? I'm going to be the solution and you ain't going to get another chance. Facts. Yep, I'm going to be the solution. I want to read you this quote real quick. Until you take ownership for your life, you will always be, and I'm going to get to these three things in a moment, y'all. Make sure you have your questions ready. Make sure you share this. Make sure you like this. Make sure you follow at Trent Shelton Podcast, right? We are, oh man, I'm taking so much ownership. I ain't blaming the algorithm. Some of us, right, we blaming social media. Oh, it's the algorithm why I'm not doing this. The algorithm why I'm not growing. Nah, forget the algorithm. It's me. It's me. Because as long as I keep blaming the algorithm for my lack of creativity, for my lack of consistency, for my lack of commitment, nothing's going to change. Then the algorithm, you got to wait for the algorithm to change in your favor. And the likelihood of that happening, come on. I see so many content creators say that, oh, it's this, it's that. No, it's me. I'm going to do better. Even myself. I'm going harder than I ever went before because you know why? I am the solution. Let me read this quote to you. Until you take ownership for your life, you will always be chasing. And you know how I feel about chasing. You weren't created to chase. I don't believe that. Right? Dogs run away. We ain't chasing nothing. I ain't chasing nobody. My dog run away. He better come back because I ain't chasing. I know my kids might be crying, but I ain't chasing. They better come back. Luckily, I have them trained. When they hear the sound of my voice, they come back. I'm not chasing. I'm not chasing no dreams. I ain't chasing no dogs. I for sure ain't chasing no people. I'm not chasing no money. I'm not chasing anything. Because when you truly take ownership, you don't live a life full of chasing. You live a life of being the magnet, right? You magnetize the things that are meant to be in your life. When you stop chasing, you magnetize the things that are meant to be in your life. But until you take ownership for your life, you will always be chasing, you fill in the blank. You'll always be chasing peace. You'll always be chasing joy. You'll always be chasing happiness. You'll always be chasing validation. You'll always be chasing to fit in. You'll always be chasing for somebody to love you. You'll always be chasing. But until you take ownership, when you take ownership, you stop chasing. So I'm not chasing nobody no more. I don't have time for that. I don't have the energy for that. I'm not chasing after anything. I'm going to put in the work in my life and I'm going to magnetize the right things that are meant to be in my life. Let me get to these three things right now. There's three things that I need you to take massive ownership over by saying it all starts with you. Number one, okay, when you look at these things, these massive ownership things, the first thing you need to do to take, the first thing that you need to take massive ownership over, you with me? You still here with me? Okay. The first thing you need to do is take massive ownership. This is going to be groundbreaking, y'all. This is like, You're like, Trent, how did this help you make $1 million? Because I took the responsibility. That's why. I took the responsibility. I put my head down and I started working. I stopped blaming them, that, this, all that stuff because it takes up too much space in your brain. And I said, I'm gonna put in the work. And I did these 3 things. And I know you wanted some quick, easy way to success. Go find somebody else on YouTube for that. I don't know no quick, easy way, no hack. I didn't win the lotto. I got this out the mud, right? Everything that I built made the brand more admirable or more attractive to book publishers and all these things. But these are the 3 things that I did very well at the beginning. If you can't do these 3 things, then you can't expect a life full of wealth or a life full of financial breakthrough unless you get lucky. And I don't believe in luck. I believe in hard work. I believe in working so hard they call you lucky. They think that you're lucky. I believe in that. Get to a place where everybody say, oh man, you're so lucky. Nah, if hard work means lucky, then I guess call me lucky. But there's 3 things that I need you to take massive ownership over. Number 1, take massive ownership over you. And I know this seems very elementary. I know this seems very common sense. But most people don't do this. They don't take massive ownership over their life because they live a life full of blame and complain. Y'all know what I call it, the BC mindset. They live a life full of pointing fingers, professional finger pointer. They live a life full of pointing the blame on everybody else. They live a life full of talking about they spend their energy in an unwise way, and they wonder why they don't have any energy for themselves. So I want you right now and ask yourself this question because I'm speaking this to you. I don't know your life. I don't know you personally. But ask yourself right now, how can I take massive ownership over me? And I'll just give you a few ideas, right? Your habits. And I know we hear these words, oh my gosh, habit talk, Trent, is it really? Yes, your habits. Your habits will dictate your happiness. Your habits will dictate your height of success. Your habits. You show me your habits, I'm gonna show you your life, or I'm gonna show you your future life, because your consistent habits will build a consistent future. Your routines, right? Taking massive ownership over you, protecting your peace, you setting boundaries, all the things that I've talked about for years. You had to take massive ownership for your life. Again, I want to ask you, who has it? Who has the ownership? Who you been blaming? Who you been giving credit to that doesn't need the credit no more? You got to go take it back. As I always tell you, take your power back because that person or that thing, that situation, that time has your power. So number 1, I need each and every one of you, okay? Don't just listen. Don't just be in here. Don't just listen to this just to listen. Like, I don't need that. I need application, man. I need action because the root of a lot of things in life is inaction. The root of a lot of frustration, a lot of settled lives, a lot of untapped potential lives, is literally the root of that is inaction. You have to act on things. So take massive ownership for your life. So if I'm you right now, I'm like, okay, what's something that I can control? Right? Take massive ownership for your health. Stop blaming, everything else. I'm gonna take massive ownership over my health. I'm gonna put myself in the best health possible. I'm gonna get more disciplined. Because if I can't take care of my health, that's the thing that I can control. And some people might get offended right now, right? Some people might leave this live, might not follow the podcast. I love you, I appreciate you, but if you feel that way, I understand, but I'm gonna just keep speaking truth. Because I told myself to this plenty of times in the mirror, in the conversations that I've had with myself. You see, a lot of us, we want all these other outside things to come into our life. We want to make $1 million. We want the financial breakthroughs. We want to be known. We want to be tops of the tops. We want to be the person. We want to be it. But we don't want to do the non-talented things that it takes to become that. When I say non-talented, we'll talk about talent in a little bit, but the non-talented things, right? What you're putting in your body is a non-talented thing. If you can't control that, then you're probably telling people how serious you are about your life. And listen, I'm talking to myself, right? There's times where I'm like, man, I get it. There's addictions. There's strongholds. I understand. I know it's easier said than done. But as you know, that can't be your excuse for your rest of your life. Easier said than done. Are you going to the doctor? Are you getting your checkup? Are you listening to what the doctor's telling you? Are you doing your own research? Right? Are you taking care of your blood work? Are you doing everything possible to put yourself in the best position? Because when we take massive ownership for our life, we don't put it in the hands of doctors. We don't put it in the hands of whoever. We say, I'm going to do my part. I'm going to do my part in my life to make sure I'm my best self. So when it comes to your health, are you doing your part? When it comes to your spirit, man or woman, are you doing your part? When it comes to your mind, are you doing your part? Right? Some of us won't listen to a podcast. Some of us won't pick up a book. Some of us won't invest in a coach. Some of us won't get around people who are doing it better than us, but yet we want to grow. But then we complain about, oh man, nothing's happening to my life. And man, everything's unfair. But when I look at people's life that say that, they're not doing anything. Oh, I don't like reading. Well, I don't like listening to podcasts. I don't like this. Well, you don't like growth then. If you don't like growth, you're probably going to stay in the same situations that you're in. I'm sorry to say it like that, but I got to keep it straight up with you. I don't like reading myself, but I do it. I don't like getting around certain things, but I do it. Why? Because I know I have to grow. In order to grow, I have to obtain knowledge that I don't have. I got to get around environments that know more than me. I can't be the best in my circle. I got to find other people, even if it's uncomfortable with my introverted self, to get around other people that actually expand my mind also. Some of us, we too comfortable and settled. We too comfortable and settling for less. We're too comfortable and average. And if you want to be comfortable in that, this message is not for you. I'm talking about the person that says they want more, that posts the quotes, that talks the talk. It's time for you to walk the walk because you can do it. You're capable of it. I know you are because you're here listening to me, so I know you want it. But it's time to more than just want. It's time to put some action into it. So number one, take massive ownership over you. If you can't do that, it's going to be very hard for your life to change. It's going to be very hard for you to hit financial success. It's going to be very hard for you to hit spiritual success. It's going to be very hard for you to hit mental success. The triad is very impossible if you don't take massive ownership over yourself. Number two, take massive ownership. That's what I need you to do. Take massive ownership over the titles and positions in your life. And this is what I mean. Whatever titles you have. Now, I will always say you're not defined by your titles. You're more than a title. But if you're in these titles, you have to be a leader in these titles. You got to say, I'm setting the tone in these titles. You got to say, I'm setting the sails in these titles. We don't live blame and complain. Remember, it all starts with you. We don't live the blame and complain. We don't blame the people. We say, no, we're the leader. We're setting the tone. So if your title is a CEO or owner, you set the tone. If your employees or people don't like it, they can move around. But you set the tone, they don't set the tone. That's what efficient and purposeful leaders do. They set the tone. They set the sails. They set the direction. They're not too big to learn and grow and take advice, but they walk the walk. They walk the path. When they make mistakes, they own up to it. Maybe your title is mom. Your title is dad. Your title is friend, son, mother, grandmother, grandfather. You know, your title is whatever your title is, you fill in the blank. You probably have multiple titles in your life. Athlete, teammate, coworker. I want you to take massive ownership for every title in your life. We're not going to blame other things anymore. Nothing outside of us is going to control our energy. If wifey is tripping, let her trip. If hubby is tripping, let him trip. But we're not going to sit here and allow them to dictate how we lead and how we show up. We're not going to blame them, because my wife ain't doing this, or because my husband ain't doing this, because my girl ain't doing this, because my guy ain't, because my kids ain't doing this. That might be true. But remember the commitment we made at the beginning of this podcast? I need all the ownership. It's on me. It's on me. And if you can't get with the program, then maybe you need to move around. But it's on me. This is what we're doing. How can I show up better? Right? How can I be a better leader? You know, how can I make sure I fulfill their needs? How can I make sure they know that they're valued? How can I put them in position? See, this is what makes you a valuable person. This will make you a go-to person. How you consistently serve and show up in other people's lives in your title. See, some of us, we hate our titles. Some of us, we half-ass our titles. Some of us, we average in our titles and we wonder why we get average results. I got a beautiful quote that I love to say. Stop expecting full-time results from part-time effort. Stop expecting full-time results from part-time effort. We give it part-time effort to things and we wonder why we ain't getting full-time results. Well, we complain about it. Oh, why I got part-time results? Because you're giving a part-time effort. Well, why I got part-time results? Because you half-assing it. Why I giving part-time results? Because you blaming everybody else and not taking the responsibility and doing your part. Anytime I want to blame, I check myself. I have literally a filter that says, Trent, what can you do better? And there's always something, because I'm an imperfect human being, that I can do better in my title. In my title as a content creator, in my title as a speaker, in my title as a CEO, in my title as a husband, in my title as a father, in my title as a brother, in my title as a friend, in my title as a son, and the list goes on. I want to be phenomenal in each one of those titles. You know why? Because I'm in control of that. Self-worth mastery program that some of you have taken and some of you will take. One of my favorite programs that I offer. Self-worth mastery, it tells us that we're in control of two things, what we give and what we accept. You're in control of what you give. When you say it all starts with you, you are taking massive ownership over your life. So that's telling you that I'm in control of what I give. I'm in control how I spend my money. I'm in control of who I'm around. I'm in control of how I wake up and start my day. I'm in control of how I treat my significant other. I'm in control of how I treat my kids. I'm in control of my mental health. I'm in control of all of those things, and you're in control of what you give. Nobody can make you give anything without your permission. So that's another thing. What have you been giving your permission to? Take your permission back. Right? Give yourself permission to be the best you. Give yourself permission. When I say be the best you, you're going to have bad days. You're going to have sucky days. You're going to have hard days. But give yourself permission to be the best you. Give yourself permission to walk in the greatest you. So, number two, right? Take massive ownership over those titles in your life. Like, what does that look like? Tell me. What does that look like for you? How would it look like if you elevated those titles in your life? What do you think would change? Would your confidence change? I bet you will. Would your peace change? I bet you will. Would that self-worth level change that we talked about at the beginning of this conversation? Your set point of self-worth? I bet it will. I bet it will. Because my impression of you, because you're here and you listen to me, that you're not a quitter. You're not a blamer or complainer. You're a person that wants to put in the damn work. You're not a watcher. You're not a wisher. You're a worker because you're here. Because you rock with me. If you listen to my podcast and you watch me on YouTube, I know that you're not watching me and listening to me just for these momentary clips that people might see online. You're diving in deep with me. So I know you're a worker. I know you are. And I know you want that responsibility. So how would your life change and look if you say, you know what? I'm going to take massive ownership for these titles in my life. You know, I work a 9 to 5 and my boss is an a-hole. I hate my boss. I know hate's a strong word, Trent, but I do. With flying colors. And I've been allowing him to control my mood. I've been coming home and I've been allowing him to control my mood at work. And I come home, I'm so frustrated. And then my kids do something that they should do because they're a kid. And I get frustrated at them. And then I'm frustrated at them. And then husband does something super small that's just a human mistake. Then I get super frustrated at him that we go to bed angry at each other. And I'm allowing this person that's going to replace me once I die. It's going to fill my position. It probably will fire me, you know, when they can't afford me no more. Or for whatever reason, they're going to lay me off. I'm allowing this human being to control so many titles in my life. And see, that's called residual effect. And some of us are dealing with that. We're dealing with that residual effect where we're allowing something in our life to control everything in our life. So if you say, you know what, I'm going to go to the job and I'm going to show up the way I want to show up. I don't care if it makes them unhappy. I don't care if you're like, what's wrong with you? Why are you so happy? I'm going to be happy. I'm not going to let anybody steal my peace. I'm not going to let anybody steal my joy. The third thing that I need you to take massive ownership over as we wrap this up and get to a few questions. The third thing that I want you to take massive ownership over is your gifts, your talents, your visions, your dreams. Everything inside you, your creativity. And a lot of us, we want these financial breakthroughs. I'm going to tell you, man, the lotto ain't coming to most of us. I'm going to tell you, you know, people ain't just coming to just save you and give you a handout. You shouldn't want that anyway. Your hands should be working, not with your hands out looking for a handout. But if you want to make that next level, you want to get some financial freedom in your life, you have to honor your gifts. You got to honor your talents. You got to be consistent as hell at giving these to the world. You got to take massive ownership over your gifts, your creativity, and honing that, your vision, and being loyal to it. And you tell yourself, you know what? I'm going to put it out there now. Some of you have left it wrapped up. Some of you are waiting for the perfect time that don't exist. Some of you are waiting for somebody to validate you and tell you that you're good when you know inside you are great, you are legendary. It's time for you to say, I'm not waiting no more on anything. It's now. Because truth is, we don't have forever. Forever comes with an expiration. Again, this is my mother's birthday. She's in heaven. My mother passed away at 68. She didn't live to see 100 like my grandma. She didn't live to see 90. She didn't live to see 80, 70. She would have been 71 this year. She ain't have forever. And some of us think we got forever and we think that magically something's going to happen. For some of us, for you, maybe listen to me right now, you got less time, you got more time. Time is not on your side. And if you like me, it seems like time is moving faster. I think they put us on fast forward. It's like it feels like they just, I'm like, where did yesterday go? Like, where did last year go? We already in August. But you acting like you got time and like something's just gonna happen. You gotta go get it. You gotta go get it. You gotta start small. I don't know if you watched me on Instagram the other day, and I don't know when you're listening to this, so you might have to go dig in the archive, but I started a Protect Your Peace Run group, and I'm gonna share this with you. Because some of you be thinking, oh, Trent, that's easy for you to say because you have millions of followers. And again, you're deflecting, you're being a professional finger pointer, right? You're living in that prison perspective. We can't do that. We can't do that anymore. But to talk to you right now and to let you know something, like I started a Protect Your Peace Run group this past Saturday. I put it out. And I didn't promote it super heavy, but I put it out on my story. Say, if you're in Dallas-Fort Worth, come out and run with me for free. Sunrise run, few miles, we can walk, run, all the things. I'm going to tell you how many people showed up. Drum roll, please. I need to press an effect. Drum roll, please. Can I get an effect here? Right? Horns, whatever it is. You know how many people showed up? One. Uno. That's how many people showed up. One person showed up. That's it. One person showed up outside of me. And you know what? I was happy as all get out. Because I know this is true. If I can reach one, I have the chance and the power and the possibility to impact many. Because I know I'm going to be consistent. I know I'm going to keep showing up. And I know next Saturday it's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. I know it's going to be 2 because she said she's bringing somebody back. And that's all that I need. But some of us, we're so afraid to start small. Some of us, we're so afraid to try. We're so afraid to go for it. We're so afraid to be embarrassed. We're so afraid. And for what? For who? Right? A world that don't even care about you anyway. A world that's going to forget about you after you pass away. They're going to say, rest in peace, give you obituary, and then the world's going to keep spinning. And that's what we're keeping our gifts inside of us for that. And I told everybody, I'm glad y'all see this because you're about to see a guy that's going to stay committed to it. And eventually I'm going to have 100 people out there. I'm going to have too many people because I'm going to keep showing up. And that's what you got to do. It's time for you to take massive ownership over your life. And if you do it in those 3 areas, you will have a phenomenal life. How I made my first $1 million was taking ownership over those 3 areas. 1,000%. And I know that's not the hack that you wanted to hear. I know you want to hear some secret investing strategy. Boom, boom, boom. No, I don't teach that. I teach legendary. I teach consistent. I teach forever. I teach sustainability. I don't want you just to be a trend. I want you to be the truth. I don't teach trendy stuff. Go to somebody else's page for that. I teach the truth. Somebody who's done it for 15 years consistently and just went up because of your help, because of you believing in me, but also because I kept showing up. And I mastered these 3 areas in my life. Doesn't mean I'm perfect in these 3 areas, but I try my best to master these 3 areas. And I take massive ownership at the end of the day over these 3 areas in my life. And I tell myself, like I said in every single video, it all starts with you. Because it doesn't start with them. It doesn't start with her. It doesn't start with him. It doesn't start with whoever you complain about. It don't start with them. It starts with you. So what you going to do with your life? That's my question for you. And I know I'm a little bit passionate right now, and I'm very unapologetic about it. But I need you to hear the seriousness in my voice. This ain't just no podcast. This ain't just no video. This ain't just no whatever. This is a real life message for you. And some of you got to wake the hell up. I love you, man, but you got to wake up. sitting around all day, scrolling all day. Right? Look at your phone right now. Keep it real. Look at your phone. How much time you spend online scrolling, watching, scrolling? And you still complaining about everybody, right? You still complaining, but you spend a lot of time scrolling. Still complaining. Make sure you drop your question. I'm about to get your questions in about 30 seconds. But you still scrolling all day long. But you ain't doing nothing with your life and what you want to do. Might be doing a speckle of it, but you're spending more time watching. Today's the day that you become a worker. Today's the day that you go live your best life because it's available for you. Today's the day is your first day to legendary. And I'll end this conversation with this. What I started with. Your self-worth is the foundation for your net worth. You'll never believe that you can achieve anything if you don't believe in yourself. That's facts. That's why some of you listening to me right now still have so much doubt, still have so many excuses, so many reasons, because your self-worth is not where it should be. If you stay tapped in with me, go digest the whole catalog of the last 15 years, your set point of self-worth will increase. Like I always tell you, it all starts with you. I want to take time right now to answer a few questions. So my team, they should send me some questions if y'all ask them, and we're going to answer a few questions on here, and we're going to call it a night. And so, team, if you can, send over the questions. And I just want to tap in a little bit. Let me see. Hold on. Boom. Yeah, I mean, the chat going crazy, man. I appreciate y'all. I do. I appreciate y'all. Let me see. I see some questions. How do you know you have found your purpose? Tina asked that. How do you know you find your purpose? Great question, Tina. I'll tell you this, Tina. Your purpose is you. If you've been following me for a long time, you know I teach that. I don't believe purpose is something that you find. Purpose is something that you realize that you are. I don't think the world has your purpose because you are purpose. I want you to tell yourself right now, I am purpose. Say it. Say, I am purpose. Every day you wake up, I am purpose. Now, I believe what you're asking is like, how do you find your placement, right? How do you know when your purpose is going to be used most efficiently? Like even right now, I don't feel like this is my purpose. I feel like this is my placement. This is the place that God has me in right now to do his work. Because if I say this is my life and I happen to lose this for whatever reason, then I'm going to feel like I lost my life. So no, I can take Trent Shelton anywhere and actually impact and change. But you know you're in your placement when there's peace. You know you're in your placement, in your place where you're supposed to be used most efficiently and effectively when you have clarity, even in like confusion, right? When it becomes, and I was hesitant to say this, but I'm going to say it. When it's natural, that's a better word. I want to say easy. When it becomes natural to you. When it's like effortless, like you put in hard work, like even now, like right now, this is still hard work. Like I've been on here for almost an hour. Like just going. This is hard work, but it's still effortlessly. I'm doing this because I'm in my gift. I'm in my placement. I'm in my calling right now, where I'm supposed to be. I'm feet planted in the place that I'm supposed to be in right now. So I'll tell you that. You know what I mean? So, but I guess a more structured way to identify, like, what's a problem that you want to solve? You know, what's a problem that you want to solve, Tina? You know, what's a problem in the world? For me, it was self-worth. My best friend committed suicide. So I was like, man, I want to help people know that they are special no matter what they lose and who they lose. That's why I started Rehab Time. You know, maybe it's tied to your past. Maybe you survived through something. You got through something. You went through something. You say, you know what? I want to help be the voice for other people. I want to help be the guide when other people are going through the same thing I went through to say, hey, it's going to be okay. So it can be tied to those two things also. That's a great question. How do you deal with depression on the daily? Michelle asked this question. Michelle, I'm going to say this because, and this is a deep question because depression, it's tough because sometimes depression, right, is clinical. And sometimes, you know, there's things that we need to do and get checkups. So I'm going to say, I'm going to give you 5 things to remember when you're depressed. Okay, I'm gonna say this right quick, and something that I tell myself, I wrote it down, and I see it every time I get depressed. But I do want to say this: go get a checkup. Okay, if you feel depressed every single day, go get your levels checked. Please go to the doctor, get your blood work done, because sometimes your hormones can be off. So please go do that for me. Like I've done that, and literally, like, man, why do I feel so tired, depressed? My hormones were completely off. My levels, my blood levels were completely shot. I was deficient in so many things, in vitamin C, D, the alphabet, A, B, C, D, F, G. I was deficient in. No wonder why I feel like I feel. So go do that. Go get a checkup. Right. Go get your levels done. Go get some blood work, extensive blood work done. It's an investment that is worth taking. Okay, because sometimes you're just deficient and you don't know what's going on with you, but you're just deficient. But these are 5 things to remember when you're depressed. I'm gonna read them. Number one, your current situation is not your final destination. There's always more to your life. So I'm always telling myself that no matter what I am going through, and I've had to tell myself a lot these past 3 years. Trent, your current situation, not your final destination. There's more to your life. There's more to your life. There's more to your life than the pain you're experiencing. There's more to life than what you're going through, what you're dealing with. There's more to your life. Okay. Number two, what you don't release will increase. Okay. What you don't release will increase. So if you keep things bottled in, and I get it, it's I've been on that road too. You don't want to bother anybody, you don't want to be judged, you can't trust nobody, so you keep things within yourself. But you got to have a trusted source. And if your trusted source is just God, that's why I love nature. I go on my nature runs. That's where I scream, I yell, I cry, I shout, I praise, I do everything out in nature. Nature is my sanctuary. But what you don't release will increase. You know what I mean? If you just keep packing it in, packing it in, packing it in, it's just gonna increase in your life. So you don't release the stress, you don't release the worry, you don't release the anxiety. You're gonna feel that it's gonna multiply. It's gonna be strong, right? Never keep your battle silent. Give your pain a voice. A lot of you heard my pain through my creativity, through my podcast, through my videos, through my spoken words, through my music. That's me giving myself a positive release. Number three, I remind myself when I'm feeling depressed that this chapter is not my story. This moment is not my identity, and this pain is not my life. Right? These are things that I have written down. And I tell myself. These are quotes that I wrote to myself. Right? This moment, this chapter is not your story. This moment is not your identity. This pain is not your life. Number four, I tell myself what you focus on is what you will feel, and what you appreciate appreciates. Find your rainbow in the rain. So I believe, and I saw a video about this earlier today, and the guy was talking about like what's more important, positive thinking or getting rid of negative thinking. And I do agree when he said getting rid of negative thinking. So no matter how much positive thinking you have and do, if you still have these negative thoughts flooding you, then you're still going to be out of balance when it comes to your emotional health. So I know what to do with my negative thinking. I try not to think negative, and when I start to feel a certain way, I change my focus and I focus on appreciation, because what you appreciate appreciates. Okay, find your rainbow in the rain. There's always a strength in the pain. I promise you. Ask yourself, what am I going to do with this? Actually, one of my favorite things to talk about in self worth mastery. Tell yourself this, and some of you know this from my teaching. The next time something happens to you, say, what is this going to mean? Don't say, what does this mean? Say, what is this going to mean? What that does, right? It all starts with you. Take massive ownership. That's what it does. But now you say, okay, instead of saying, what does this mean? Oh, this means that I lost my mom. No, I'm not going by that no more, because that didn't serve my soul. It just left me depressed. I'm only thinking about losing my mom. What this meant, my mom's death, it meant that I gained an angel forever. It's always with me. What it meant that I'm going to actually value time more with those that I love, because I realize that it's not guaranteed, right? You take a power perspective in every situation. The fifth thing I tell myself is that your heart will heal, your tears will dry, this pain will end. Better things are coming for your life. That's one of my favorite quotes that you guys love when I always post it. But I told myself in my darkest moments, your heart will heal, your tears will dry, this pain will end. Better things are coming for your life, Trent. And I tell myself that. And as a bonus, number six, depression is the absence of appreciation. Some people argue with me with this, but I believe it's true. It's hard to feel depressed when you find all the reasons why you're blessed. It's hard to feel depressed at the same time when you're focusing on all the reasons why you're blessed. And so I'm always trying to focus on reasons why I'm blessed. I'm always trying to bring appreciation anytime I feel depression. Those things truly help my life. And so what I want to do right now is I want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm going to say this. If you're watching me now on YouTube live, this podcast, you might be listening to me obviously on Monday today when it released the audio version. But if you're watching me live every Sunday at 8 p.m., I know it's a little bit late today. We're gonna do this. We're gonna go live, and the audio will be played on my podcast, the Trent Shelton podcast. The audio version will be released on Monday. So thank you so much. If you listen to this on audio, make sure you follow me on YouTube, Trent Shelton Videos. I got 840,000 subscribers, so you know it's my page. You'll see me on there. And yeah, man, let's make this week incredible. I appreciate you. I love you. Like I always tell you, it all starts with you. It's rehab time. Let's get it. Share this with somebody, man. Let me know your biggest takeaway. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you, man. It's been beautiful, man. Make sure you like and make sure you subscribe, okay? We're trying to grow YouTube as much as we can. Thank you for showing up. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Jenny. I'm going to shout y'all. Jamie, thank you. Tessa, I see you. Sonia, thank you. Maria, thank you. Elizabeth, thank you. Sonia, you got my book. Thank you. Marie, thank you. Man, thank you so much. Make sure you follow me. Thank you, Martine. I see you. Oh, man. Thank you. Somebody write in the chat the 5 takeaways. Write in the chat the 5 takeaways. I mean, not the 5 takeaways, the 3. Somebody tell me in the chat really quick what we are taking ownership over. What are the 3 areas? Somebody let me know. What are the 3 areas? Somebody tell me. What up, Valerie? I appreciate you. What are the 3 areas? Make sure you guys like it, man. Let's get these likes. Subscribe to the page. What we got? I'm just looking right now. Take ownership. There we go, Style and Grace. Okay, take ownership over what? What are we taking ownership over? What are the 3 areas? You, the titles, and your gifts. Thank you, Katie. Shout out to Katie, man. Next time, Katie, I should have did it this time, but I'm going to give away a free shirt. For somebody who stays here and gives me information back, that pays attention, I'm going to start giving away free shirts as we get adjusted. This is the first time we've done a live on YouTube, I think, ever, to be honest with you. So we got to get the kinks out, and as I get more comfortable, we'll make this a beautiful place. But again, I am really prioritizing YouTube, so make sure you're locked in with me here. We're going to do a lot of incredible things the rest of this year and up to 2025. And again, if you're listening to this in real time, Live Legendary event is happening on my birthday, September 21st. All right? Go to TrentShelton.com right now. Get your tickets. Come down to Fort Worth, Texas. Find the DFW. Find the Dallas. Fort Worth and Dallas, basically the same city. Fly in. If you're viewing VIP, it's going to be magical on September 20th, the night before, but it's a whole day on the 21st. I already have some confirmed guest speakers in the morning that's going to blow your mind. And at night, we're going to have the Live Legendary experience with me. When I promise you, I can't even get this out. I'm so excited. I promise you, it's going to be legendary. Like, I am staying up late at night working on this. I'm excited, but I want to see you there if you can be there. So if you're anywhere around Texas, come to this event. I know a lot of you already flying in. You got your tickets. It's going bananas, but we still got a lot of tickets to sell, a lot of seats left. Okay, use the code 30 off right now. If you listen to this later on, I don't know if it's still available. I'm just being honest with you. But if you listen to this in real time, at least in the first few days of me making this live, use the code 30 off. You get $30 off general admission tickets. Okay, if you have a group of 5 people, you can go on the site. You have a group of 5 people, each person gets a $50 ticket. Okay, so take advantage of that. Call your friends, call your coworkers that we are going to this. And listen, I'm not just saying this because it's me. You can ask anybody else. You can do your homework, ask somebody in the chat. Maybe they can tell you. Anybody you take to this event will not be mad at you. They won't be like, man, you just waste 2 hours of my life. I promise you they won't. They're going to thank you because I know what rehab time events do for people. Okay? I think it's some of the best in the world, not because it's just me, but because of the people that show up, because of you guys, because of the energy that's in the room and in the building. It's just magical. So September 21st, I want to see you there. All right, go get your tickets. Share this. I'll talk to you soon. Let's get it.